Have you ever questioned what we really know? Ever felt like the story was just not right? Do you have a need for the truth and what really is? Well, today we are asking some of these tough questions.
Tonight on What We Think We Know.
Who really invented calculus? Only a question of principle.
The story on Archimedes of Syracuse.
One day, King Hero had commissioned a new royal crown for which he provided solid gold to the goldsmith. When the crown arrived, King Hero was suspicious that the goldsmith only used some of the gold, kept the rest for himself and added silver to make the crown the correct weight. Archimedes was asked to determine whether or not the crown was pure gold without harming it in the process. Archimedes had to solve the problem without damaging the crown, so he could not melt it down into a regularly shaped body in order to calculate its density. Archimedes was perplexed but found inspiration while taking a bath. He noticed that the full bath overflowed when he lowered himself into it, and suddenly realized. While taking a bath, he noticed that the level of the water in the tub rose as he got in, and realized that this effect could be used to determine the volume of the crown. For practical purposes, water is incompressible, so the submerged crown would displace an amount of water equal to its own volume. By dividing the mass of the crown by the volume of water displaced, the density of the crown could be obtained. This density would be lower than that of gold if cheaper and less dense metals had been added. That he could measure the crown's volume by the amount of water it displaced. He knew that since he could measure the crown's volume, all he had to do was discover its weight in order to calculate its density and hence its purity. Archimedes was so exuberant about his discovery that he ran down the streets of Syracuse naked shouting, "Eureka!" which meant "I found it" in Greek.
While taking a bath, he noticed that the level of the water in the tub rose as he got in, and realized that this effect could be used to determine the volume of the crown.
What does this mean, that he could measure the crown's volume by the amount of water it displaced? He knew that since he could measure the crown's volume, all he had to do was discover its weight in order to calculate its density and hence its purity. Archimedes was so exuberant about his discovery that he ran down the streets of Syracuse naked shouting,
"Eureka! Eureka!" which meant "I found it." In Greek, the Eureka effect, also known as the aha effect, refers to the common human experience of suddenly understanding a previously incomprehensible problem or concept.
A recent theoretical account of the aha moment started with 4 defining attributes of this experience. First, the aha moment appears suddenly. Second, the solution to a problem can be processed smoothly, or fluently. Third, the aha moment elicits positive effect. Fourth, a person experiencing the aha moment is convinced that a solution is true. These 4 attributes are not separate but can be combined because the experience of processing fluency, especially when it occurs surprisingly, for example, because it is sudden, elicits both positive effect and judged truth.
There are several examples of scientific discoveries being made due to a sudden flash of insight. One of the key insights in developing his special theory of relativity came to Albert Einstein while talking to his friend Michel Besso.
I started the conversation with him in the following way: recently I have been working on a difficult problem, today I come here to do battle against that problem with you. We discussed every aspect of this problem. Then suddenly I understood where the key to this problem lay. Next day I came back to him again and said to him without even saying hello, "Thank you. I've completely solved the problem." Albert Einstein, how I created the theory of relativity.
So next time you have that aha moment, think of math and Archimedes.
Click here to find out more.